basics of lemonade is really simple. Sugar, water, and lemon juice with maybe a dash of salt. So first things first, you've got your pitcher, and this is going to make 2 quarts. And on the blog, I do have a variation on how to make just 1 cup, which I used to do a lot for my daughter when she was little. But today's the 4th, and we need a lot of lemonade. So this recipe calls for 8 cups of water. So nice cold filtrated water goes in here. So the next thing you want to do is actually make a simple syrup. So you're going to take some of this water and we're going to move to the stove. So we're at the stove and I'm going to take roughly about 1/3 to 1/2 of this water out of the pitcher and into a saucepan. In the saucepan, I'm going to start, first of all, to heat it. This is basically a simple syrup. Why you make a simple syrup is because you don't want grainy sugar that doesn't get dissolved in your lemonade, right? It ends up at the bottom, and then maybe you get gulps of tart lemon, then all of a sudden you get to the bottom and everything's super sweet. Making a simple syrup and cooling it down will infuse the drink with even amounts of sweetness and a good mouthfeel while you drink it. So 1/2 to 1/3 of the water, and to it I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt. Salt just brings out all the flavors. If you're concerned about sodium, honestly, this is not that much, but you can lessen it, you can skip it if you'd like. And we've got 24 tablespoons of sugar. You're going to notice in this recipe it's 24 tablespoons of sugar, and you're going to have 24 tablespoons of lemon juice. So it's pretty much tit for tat. Tablespoon of lemon juice, tablespoon of sugar. That is just a rough guide. I'll explain when we start squeezing lemons how you kind of need to have extra water and extra lemon juice on hand, and I'll explain why. We're going to dissolve this. So give it a stir, and you can see how things are murky. We're going to dissolve this under a medium heat. Over a medium heat until all that sugar is dissolved and it's not murky anymore, it's clear. One more thing to note, once you can actually infuse other flavors at this point into your simple syrup. If you go to my channel, I have a series on herbs and florals and how to infuse those flavors into some of your recipes, and simple syrups is a nice way to do that. So if you want to get a little undertone of basil or an undertone of mint, this would be a nice place to put those leaves. Either during the cooking time and then you pull them out, or as it cools, you can put those leaves in, and as it's cooling, the oils from those leaves can just infuse into your simple syrup. A vanilla bean. You can get creative. All right, it's been seriously not even 3 minutes, and I'm not seeing any sugar granules, and the water's clear. You didn't even really have to bring it up to a boil. You just need to get it to a point where the heat melts the sugar into the water. I'm going to turn it off, and you're going to cool this down. So for the lemons, there's a couple ways you can squeeze a lemon. This is going to be the old school way because actually we're in the country this weekend and we're limited with our tools, which is great for you because you can learn the basics. So here's your lemon, and here's a mesh sieve, and you can see I ran some juice through it already, and the sieve kind of captures the stuff you don't want in your lemonade, the little tiny seeds, the pulp, and what you have left is the juice. So have this nearby, and you're going to squeeze your lemons right over this. Squeezing a lemon by hand is really easy, and all you need is a fork and a knife. Here's a lemon, and a couple tips on squeezing lemons for juice. Room temperature is great versus cold. It softens the lemon, and it allows for more juice to kind of flow, versus a cold lemon is kind of stiff and the pulp is stiff and you can't really, you don't get as much juice. Another thing I like to do before I squeeze my lemon is I roll it. Kind of loosens up the pulp, gets the oils going too. I like to do that too for zesting. It gets the oils kind of loosened up in the skin. So give it a couple rolls, slice it in half, like so. And a fork. A fork that you can easily maneuver, and even with a curve to it would be nice, so you can push against the sides. Stick your fork in like that. Turn it so that the fork is vertical. Use your other hand and squeeze against the fork. This is why too it's nice to have a soft, warm lemon versus a cold one out of the fridge. As you're squeezing with one hand, you're also going up and down with your fork, and you're using your fork and that curve of the fork to press against the sides of the lemon, pushing the pulp against the skin. Squeezing, jostling, moving up and down. And then I also like to turn the lemon around the fork so I get everything out. When you feel like you can't get any more, I do one last thing. I take the fork and I run it down the side. See how I did that? There is not a lot to that lemon. So, you don't need any fancy gadgets. You just need that. So this, I also like to gently, not too much because I don't want those little tiny seeds in here, but just gently tap and get anything out of that lemon. Like I said, 24 tablespoons of lemon juice. Go a little bit over because it's good to have extra lemon juice on hand in case things are too sweet and your palate and your family's palate like things a little bit tart. It also depends on your lemons. I've noticed major differences with various lemons and various stores that carry the lemons. Some are sweeter, some are tartar. So always go a little bit over your 24 tablespoons. Pour the cooled sugar water back into the pitcher. Now add the same amount of lemon juice. Same amount of lemon juice. 24 tablespoons. Give it a good stir. And then you have to taste because you don't know what your lemons, how tart, how sweet they are. If you need more sugar, if you need more lemon juice, and you adjust from there. So grab a spoon. That is actually perfect for us. So, serve it up on some ice. Glass of ice. Serve up your lemon in. And a sprig of mint is always nice. There you go. Thanks for joining me on Kitchen Basics this Friday, and please subscribe to the channel so you can stay up on all my Friday videos. Thanks a lot. Have a great Friday.